Oklahoma currently sitting at number 11 in the On3 industry recruiting rankings, but the Sooners want to lock in a spot inside the top 10. They got a few major targets still remaining on the board. We got Josh McCuistion from Soonerscoop.com. On this video, he's going to take us behind the scenes of everything OU recruiting. But first, hit subscribe to the best recruiting channel on all of YouTube. Sooner fans, we need you to lock in. Go ahead, hit subscribe for me, please. All right, let's bring on Josh McCuistion from Soonerscoop.com. And we're talking OU's remaining targets. Let's start in the trenches. We got Michael Fasusi and Andrew Babalola. Now, we know it's going to be a battle for both of these guys. And as it stands right now, I'd probably put the Sooners legitimately in the race for both of them, but probably not the leader for either of them. Which one do you think Oklahoma has a better shot at?
For me right now, I would lean to Michael Fasusi. And, I know that absolutely the belief has been for a long time that Texas was his leader. And I was one that bought into that. I 100% believe that to be true for most of the spring and early summer. When he took the official visit to Norman, it felt like something changed. Like there's just been a little bit of a difference in the way people are talking about this, the way just the things I hear sound much more positive for Oklahoma. Now, does that mean they can close the deal? We don't know. We've seen Oklahoma struggle in that regard where they get all the way to the mountaintop but can't quite reach the peak. And I think that's what we're going to have to see with Michael Fasusi. Can they close the deal here? Because we know Texas isn't going away. Texas A&M is going to do everything they can do. But this feels like an OU-Texas battle to me. And again, talking to some people familiar with on the Texas side of things as well, I think there's real concern Oklahoma's done something here to maybe surprise some people on August 21st.
Well, we will see August 21st. Michael Fasusi will be coming off the board. Now, let's switch gears. Let's talk about linebacker Christian Jones. He's out of the state of Nebraska, and to me, it seems like it's a two-team race here between the Sooners and the Huskers. Is that how you read it? Inside Scoop fans, college football season is wrapping up, and it also means that the NFL is winding down as well. But there's still some great games left in the season. And you know what's not great, though? Finding last-minute tickets. Finding last-minute tickets, it can be a nightmare. Do not let this be the way your 2024 goes. That's why I'm here to tell you about Game Time. It is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all the big-time matchups. The Game Time app is great. It's easy to use, and it works in any city, any team. And you get the best price guarantee. Do not stress over getting into your team's favorite games anymore. There's only so many big games, and you need to get these tickets at the best prices. Game Time is the place for last-minute ticket deals. Forget planning months in advance. Game Time has deals on tickets right up to the day of the event. Game Time is obsessed with finding ways to help you save money. Zone deals, all right? This is where you pick a section, and Game Time picks the seats for big savings. So here's what we're going to do. Snag the tickets without stress with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code INSIDESCOOP for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code INSIDESCOOP for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Absolutely. And I see it the exact same way. And this is another one that, again, for a long time, I just thought he was going to end up at Nebraska. It was, talking to Christian, he was always very open, liked Oklahoma a lot, liked Oklahoma's got like four guys with real linebacker, either experience, coaching experience. James Skalski that played at Clemson. You've got Zach Alley now, the new defensive coordinator. Brent Venables obviously has a lot of background and track record at linebacker. So there's a lot there, and that forgets a guy like Rufus Alexander, who was an All-American at Oklahoma, that's also on the staff. So there are a lot of guys with a lot of familiarity with that position, and I think that is meaningful in this recruitment. But again, just talking to people, some of the decisions that Oklahoma has made, namely kind of passing on Mark Iannaccio, the linebacker that committed to SMU a couple of weeks ago, that felt like a decision for Oklahoma, and they need another linebacker. Well, why would they make that decision unless they feel pretty good about Christian Jones? So, again, I don't think anything certain. We've seen Nebraska kind of snag a few from Oklahoma, kind of at the 11th hour. in the last couple of classes with Grant Bricks, Cade Pietschak just the other day. So this shouldn't be counted as over. But I do like where Oklahoma is, and I do think this is an absolute, old Big 8 battle between Oklahoma and Nebraska.
Love to see it. Anyone else OU fans should keep an eye on? Because Oklahoma's sitting at 22 commitments. So we covered kind of the biggest targets on the board, but there's still a couple more spots left available.
There was talk all spring long that this was going to be like a 19, 20 person class. And
Yeah.
I kept looking at the numbers. I was like, that's not going to happen. There's no way. And again, have missed out on Cade Pietschak. We know they would take another off. If they could get Babalola and Fasusi, which obviously is not going to happen, they would do it. So I think Oklahoma's willing to play with the numbers, but I think any guy that you see beyond the three we've just discussed with Babalola, Fasusi, and Christian Jones, I think it's going to be a new target. I think it might be a guy that either they kind of had an eye on, maybe somebody that's committed elsewhere, but there's no clear-cut name. Even maybe just a guy that emerges as a senior. But I don't think there's anyone that they clearly say, like they're looking at right now that they're actively involved with, because most of Oklahoma's targets have made their decisions at this point, like so many other major programs around the country. So I think it's going to take a curveball for one of these guys. Now, obviously, if they miss out on both the offensive tackles we've discussed, they're going to have to do something. They need another body there. So I think that is it. We're gonna know by September 1st how they're going to kind of play this going forward.
Mm-hmm. All right, so wrap it up. What do you think OU's biggest need was heading into the cycle, and have they done a good enough job of filling it so far?
To me, and Josh, I think this is the 37th show we've done. We've talked a lot about this. It was offensive line. It was always going to be offensive line. And I think they've done a nice job. I like Darius Afalava. I know they like Owen Hollenbeck a lot. They really see him as he's a huge power lifter, big, strong guy. And Ryan Foje, at the time, there were OU fans who were like, why are they taking this guy? And then you just watch him climb the rankings for everybody. And it's like, oh, no, that was a really good evaluation, and Oklahoma's done a good job with him. At the same time, they need at least one more. This had to be at least a two-tackle class, and Afalava and Hollenbeck are definitely inside guys. So they need someone to pair with Foje, and if it's Fasusi, hey, A+, job done. Whatever else you do on the offensive line, just bonus. But if they miss out on Babalola and Fasusi and only have Foje, that's a problem. That's not getting what you needed to get done, and especially when it was such a regionally strong class of offensive linemen with so many great players from Dallas. We talk about Babalola from the Midwest. There's a lot that surrounded Oklahoma. It was kind of unique. They needed to do a lot, and if you only get one of these guys, I think that's a real problem.
Yeah, we were definitely more optimistic, say, back in February or March than we are now, and now it becomes a major need. So we'll see what happens down the stretch. They still got a couple weeks to go. OU fans, talk to us. Comment section below. How do you feel about this class? What do you think the biggest need is? Let us know. Comment section below. Well, you've made it to the end of today's video, but there's hundreds more videos on the On3 Recruits channel for you to check out. And also, while you're here, hit subscribe.